My name is Paul Harrington. I'm an internal here with American National of Texas and Moody Insurance Group, and we are very excited to present to you today our product launch. We've been mentioning this off and on for the past couple of months, but the day is finally here, so we are really excited to kind of go through the product with you, explain how it works, how you can use it, positioning statements. Also, if you do want to start doing business, we're going to go through that process as well. The goal of this is to bring you full circle, start you off at the beginning, get to the end, and you will be ready to go. So with that being said, we do have our Chief Marketing Officer, James Rankin, on the line that is going to help us conduct this and show us how wonderful this product can be and what we can do with it to increase your revenues. With that being said, James, take it away.
Thank you so much, Paul, and once again, I appreciate all Paul does. I try to practice what I preach, and one of the things that I've talked about with a number of brokers really throughout the country and a number of companies as well, and that is we need to reach out to the millennials to get them involved in our business. Our industry is graying. They say the average life, the average age of a life insurance agent is like 62 years old. So this is a great takeaway for every single person on this call. Why not recruit a millennium, teach them the life insurance business, show them how they can make a six-figure income in a relatively short period of time? That's my job. I enjoy that. And so what I've also done is I've helped a number of top flight brokers reposition some of their efforts into brokerage. So if you have ever thought about that, call me up. This is a perfect time to begin a relationship. Now, I'm going to drop this guy's name, and you're probably going to cringe a little bit, but there's a good story behind it. You almost have to become like a Pete Rose. When I was a young baseball player, I got to be frank, I loved Pete Rose. And the reason why is how many player coaches do you know? Now, as far as his ethics, I mean, that's a whole other issue. What I loved about Pete, he not only coached the guys, he played the game. And he not only played the game, he played the game with his heart. He was a hustler. He would steal a base. He would take that extra swing. He had fire in his belly. And unfortunately, there's not many of us that have that. And so the takeaway here is think about that. We are launching a brand new product. With newness comes opportunity. So I'm going to throw it out there to everybody on this call that if you've ever had a desire to recruit, train other people, preferably younger brokers, people looking for an opportunity. I mean, so many young people, they're smart, they're ambitious, they have no clue what we have in our industry. And guys, I got to tell you, this is the best part. The timing to get in this industry couldn't be better. And when we go through this product, I think you'll be excited. Now, one of the things I always like to say, we're not here just to push product. That's not what we're about. We're here to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. And I call that tapping in on your potential. What is potential? When I was a young broker, they'd throw it at me, you got unlimited potential. I don't like that. I want to quantify it. So I'm going to quantify the very definition of potential with you, and it's this. Potential is where you are right now economically compared to the best person within your market. And I've got a gauge for you right now. One of our brokers last year earned $557,000. Now, if he's on the call, I want to thank him because, number one, we appreciate the business. But if he's not on the phone, I'm teasing. If he's on the phone, I'll say this anyway. I like him. He's a hard worker, but he's not any smarter than anybody on this call. He works. He cares. He's like a Pete Rose of life insurance, and he gets after it. So what I'm saying, guys, is this is not cotton candy. This is not pipe dreams. If you want to increase where you are now, we can help you at Moody Group and American National Texas. Now, anytime we launch a brand new product, I got to tell you, there's excitement. And the reason there's excitement is because there's newness, and people like new things. They say in advertising the word new is worth its weight in gold. It really is. So when you tell somebody, hey, I got a new product I want to share with, oh, you got a new product? I got a new service. I got something new. So new really does capture attention. Okay, I think I beat that up pretty good. So let's move on. American National of Texas. What I love about this company, we are a subsidiary of American National. Everyone's heard of American National. Been in business in 1905, and I got a great graphic on that. But what I'm getting at is this. We don't have 25, 30,000 brokers with ANTEX. So quite frankly, you may be the only guy in your city, you may be the only guy in your county that has an ANTEX product, which I think gives you tremendous opportunity. You're not going to be competing with other people, especially on the same product. Now, you're going to be competing with live guys. We always do. But we're going to give you some ideas that I think can increase your income dramatically. Now, we call that, let me go back to this real quick, because once again, this was a catchphrase I like. It's American National of Texas Living Guaranteed Option UL. And I love it. The initials are LGO, which is Life Goes On. And guys, we need to share that with our clients because life does go on. It goes on in spite of whether we live or die. Your career goes on whether you make the sell or you don't make the sell. Life goes on. And so once again, we're all part of that momentum of creating opportunities for other people and our families. Let's talk some facts here real quick. As a subsidiary company, we ride on our mothership, which has impeccable financials. And what a great story. I actually work for W.L. Moody Jr.'s great-grandson, Robert Moody Jr., whose father founded National Western. So that's a great tie-in, and it is a family-run company. Russell and Ross are on the board of directors, and Francie. The Moody Foundation owns 23% of Anaco stock. The family owns the rest up to 51%. Guys, we're not going to be bought or sold to some foreign entity that's happening in our industry right now. You know, you got a Texas-based company. It's a great story. Here's another great story for you. Do you realize that the Moody Foundation is basically chartered to give away $50 million a year to not-for-profit organizations in the state of Texas? How many insurance companies do that? Or maybe some companies that have goodwill, they provide money. We do it every single year. And if you check Google, check Moody Foundation, we just gave a $50 million grant to the University of Texas to build the Moody Communication Building. We just donated $20 million to the SMU campus for the Moody Coliseum. So guys, we are really doing some good things, and I just think that it's the benevolence of a company that gives you goodwill and also helps you close sales. We also are rated A by AM Best, A by Standards & Poor's. Guys, we have one of the best capital surpluses in the industry. After we have paid all of our policy owner debt and responsibilities, we have over 10% capital surplus. Guys, we have $2.3 billion that's liquid. So we're going to talk about life insurance today, but you also got to look at our life insurance and annuity portfolios. One of the things we're also doing, and we're having great success with it, is 401k marketing. So if you've thought about that, I'm going to share with you later on some ideas on how to sell a guaranteed return of premium type product, and we'll do that together. And of course, A with Standard & Poor's, as I mentioned earlier. Guys, let's talk about the product. Let's cut right to the chase. Here's what I love about it. Guaranteed 100% return of premium. We'll get into more detail. But guys, how many companies have done away with the return of premium? We are installing it with this new product. So after 20 years, you get 100%, or if you had some medical problems, 45% of the death benefit. And in year 25, you get guaranteed 100% return of premium. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the idea of a term alternative, and that's exactly what I'm going to be referring to. Guaranteed no lapse. You paid the premium, ongoing, don't miss payments. You are guaranteed to have no lapse up to age 121. I think that's remarkable. Also, we have called a dial-in death benefit. You want to have the death benefit to age 95? Fantastic. 105, that's fine. 121. So once again, you determine that. Now, I don't want to ramble on here, guys. I want to make my point, and I want to really give you guys something that you can digest and act on, hopefully. But here's something interesting about mortality. Do you realize if your client lives beyond 95, the actual mortality cost really is, there's no real difference between a 105 and a 100 or 110. I just thought that was fascinating. And maybe it's just the fact that they decided not to continue the work since it's such a low percentage of the population that will be in that. But guys, I'm here to tell you that chronologically we can live to be 120. The fastest growing segment in the population are centenarians. Now here's some trivia for you. Back in 1950, how many people do you think were registered in America that were over age 100? The answer is 4,000. We had 4,000 people. You realize in the 2010, there were over 50,000 people age 100. So centenarians, the fastest growing demographic in America. Use that with your clients. It makes a lot of sense. As we proceed on, this is a brochure that we designed, and once again, this actually is a rough draft, but it's going to look just like that. And I love it because, once again, you've got a story to tell. Every brochure that I've designed, you can use it as a sales presentation. Now, this is the back. This is just giving you the obviously the background of the product and also the facts. We call it like a benefit summary. We're going to issue this to age 18 to 80. Non-nicotine, if they're smokers, we're going to cap it at 75. We are doing male-female rates. Minimum face amount is only $25,000. Now, I don't want to cut into our final expense, but for a lot of people, that may be what they want. They just want a policy that will bury them, and this could serve that purpose for you as well. So 25 is a minimum. Guys, I'll tell you, as far as maximum, try us out. I mean, we could take as much as 10 million. So, load us up for that. Also, we're going to allow people to pay annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, biweekly. Also, you can do bank drafts, bill direct. But guys, one of the things you have to understand too is that this is really not designed for cash value buildup. This is a return of premium type product. And we are going to have a child rider on here. So people like that. We also have the rider for the cash out, so you know that is documented. But here is the presentation. Life. Life is precious. We know that. Guys, we're having to do the impossible. We're doing things that nobody wants to do, and that's talk about our own mortality. And so I came up with this, and you may use this. I've used this when I was an agent back in the 80s. But I love it because it's simple, but it's profound. And what I'm talking about is looking at a young couple, looking at the fact that they want to save money, and they've got to look at their saving debt ratio. So that's exactly what this slide does, and it is a wonderful way to introduce the concept of life insurance. And what I would say is this. I got a 25-year-old couple. You're starting a savings plan. It's going to be very low, right? But as you continue to contribute to your plan, especially if you're using annuities that has tax-deferred growth and bonuses and index, obviously, opportunities, you're going to grow that asset. Right now, your debts are very high. So many people, unfortunately, are leaving college with $50,000 to $100,000 in debt. Now, I'm very grateful. When I graduated from college, I had no debt. The only debt I got was after I got into the insurance business and got on a commission-only job. I'm joking. First couple of months were tough, but hey, once you get rolling, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I digress. Let me get back to my point. The good news and bad news. People are graduating from college with debt. Debt needs to be insured. So we can do that. All we're doing is we're renting money. And that's how I used to sell term insurance. We're simply going to rent money until you build up. But take a look at that graph. You can see about 44 perhaps, that's when our savings exceeds our debt. And when that happens, a lot of times we can say, I don't need the term insurance. Term insurance is designed specifically for term. I got a mortgage. I'm going to pay off the mortgage in 25 years. Okay, it's over with. All right, or my debt's taken care of. Or my kids are finally out of college. I don't have debt. I don't need to insure it. If I don't have the money, that's how you get debt. A lot of people forget that. If you have money, you would not have debt, would you? Because you would not need to borrow money in some cases. So the fact is, I'm simply buying time to accumulate my wealth. And that's what we want to do, is help people grow their assets through tax deductibility, tax deferral, tax-free, using cash value life insurance, 401k plans, annuities. That's what we can help you with as you're working with your clients. But the bottom line is that eventually it's going to cut off. And so what I'm saying is, if you're buying term insurance, the term is over. But here you have an opportunity to continue a death benefit or simply receive all your money, and we'll talk about that later. But the bottom line is life goes on. So here's a great example to educate your clients, kind of show them what you're thinking. Guaranteed. I always say life does not have many guarantees, but we have them with this product. Number one, we can guarantee that we can create an instant estate for your family right now. It may take you 30 years to accumulate $250,000. You realize that? I can get you an estate of $250,000 right now. That resonates with people. Also, how about making money available for your family members in case of your premature death? Life goes on. So, yes, I may pass away, but my family still gets to live in their home. My kids still get educated, and that's because I love them. We buy insurance out of love, and we forget to mention that when we're talking to clients. Other options, how about the fact that your premium payment will not be increased? So I've got the qualities of a whole life plan, but I also have term components because I've got a low-cost way, and I've got a level premium really for the rest of my life and the potential of getting all my money back. Options, I like this one. Guys, here's a new term for you. I call it mass customization. We have one product, but when you sit down with your client, you tailor that product to fit their needs. And I'm going to tell you a little secret, and it's this. When your client is helping you design their own product, they own that product. Think about this. When is the last time that you were able to sit down with a client and cover all the bases? And what are the options here? Well, the first option we have is, how long do you want your death benefit? 95? 100? 105? 121? You tell me. Well, as a matter of fact, we've got some great grandkids, and I know we'll have more down the way. I'm going to go to 121. Okay, great. Fine. Or, hey, 95. Let's just cut off at 95. That's fine. Secondly, the other option is, when do you want your money back? We do have an opportunity to give you all your money back in 20 years and 25 years, but we do have a 15-year where you can get back, if it's under 250, 45% of your premium. So if you have a 15-year mortgage, maybe we do that. How's that sound? So you plant the seed with them as far as how they want to proceed on, from a death benefit to when they want their return of premium. Another one that's very important is living benefits. I'm surprised, and I do competitive analysis all the time, and I'm looking at the companies, and I see that a lot of companies still just have a terminal illness rider. Now, there's some that have gone to the chronic, but you don't see a lot of critical illness. And I'm going to be frank with you. The majority of your clients, especially if they're executives, are probably most likely going to have a heart attack. They're going to have a stroke. And those two elements, they're not going to die, but they're not going to be able to work. So to be able to provide them a cash benefit, and once again, here's another option. Do you want a full acceleration, or do you want a partial acceleration? A partial acceleration, we keep the death benefit in place. We basically reprice your policy for you so you only pay on the existing face amount. So those are some really interesting concepts that I think will resonate with your prospects and also your existing client base. Also, let me give you some facts here. Our terminal is 90%. If you're diagnosed to have a disease resulting in death in 24 months, we will give you 90% of your death benefit. If you are over age 65, you can go up to $1 million on that. I'm telling you, I don't know why anybody would want to buy long-term care when you can consolidate that need in an existing life insurance policy. Now, you get the refund back because you're going to keep it in force. You want to keep it in force, but it's nice to know you do have that option. So 90% on a terminal. Critical illness, we look at the severity of the ailment, we make you an offer. So based on your heart attack, it was a pretty severe heart attack. It's going to reduce your life expectancy by 12 years. We're going to give you 64% of your death benefit. Take it or leave it. Some people say, no, I'll keep my policy. Or take a partial on that. Yeah, okay, if you're going to be 64, how about just 40? All right, here's the check for $200,000 or whatever the amount is. If you're under age 65, your living benefits will cover up to $2 million. Your persistency is probably going to be the best it's ever been with this product. Why? Because you're giving this person a pool of money that will follow them wherever they go. So if they get a terminal illness, boom, they get money. If they have a critical illness, here's some money. And guys, we're using this in conjunction with their medical insurance because this product can be partnered with their program. Let's say they have high deductibles. No problem. I'll go with the $10,000 deductible because I can get it from my life insurance if I have a critical illness. The other one is chronic, and most people forget about that. But I always say, is it acute or is it chronic? You know, if it's acute, you got the critical illness. If it's chronic, then we've got obviously the long-term care provisions. If you can no longer perform 2 of your 6 ADLs, we will advance up to 76%. Critical illness up to 76%, as I mentioned, depending on the severity of your ailment. But the other long-term care, we just give you a lump sum and you manage it. So I think it's pretty unique. And what I like to do also is I do the math for the clients. The average stay in a nursing home is 2.4 years. The average cost is X. With an inflation factor of X, you're going to need this amount of money, and it's provided right here in the insurance policy. Guys, you will sell more life insurance with that idea than with most other ideas, I can assure you. So options. So LGO, Life Guarantee Options. You got a variety of options to choose from there. Also, the last thing is leaving a lasting legacy. This is an idea that I think most people forget about, but every one of your clients has a passion. They have something that they love. It's college, it's church, it's a not-for-profit organization. What happens when they die? We forget to ask people that. Do you realize your church is really going to take a hit without your contributions? How would you like to leave a gift for them? How would you like to leave a gift? My grandfather left a gift for Pals for Pets. He loved stray dogs, and he left this organization a lot of money. Most of the family was pretty upset. I think it's great because, number one, they love him because he's helping a lot of animals. He's helped a lot of animals throughout the years since his death because, you know, he said, I'm going to do this, and he did it. So, once again, this will all be ready. I've got the reference to Texas here because that's where we're located. The Blue Bonnets, the Alamo, the Longhorns. It creates a good feeling for your clients. So, you know, that's what you're doing is you're creating an impression for them in which they can act upon. And once again, I do a lot of training on insurance agents, and if you've ever wanted to do some one-on-one coaching, I'd love to help you because we really have increased the productivity of a lot of people. And one of the things I talk about is how can we become more persuasive? Number one, what is persuasion? It's the ability to alter your client's opinion, their attitude, their behavior. It all works together. And in order to do that, you've got to have the facts. And so I'm going to present this to you. Hopefully I'll be persuasive to you. And I want to talk about the LGO, and I call it the term alternative. And here are the facts. I'm using our own numbers. I'm taking a Mel 35, $500,000 of life insurance. Now, once again, I'm probably going to make a lot of life sales here on term insurance because when you look at our rates, you'll be amazed. We have probably some of the best rates in the industry. A 20-year level term on a 35-year-old Mel, $500,000, $24.62. That's remarkable. However, that also includes living benefits. We put our living benefits on our term product. A lot of companies will only allow that on their cash value policies. I love the fact. And why? Because I want you to close business. In some cases, you're going to have to go with the term. In some cases, you may go with an ART. We don't care because we know if you work with your client, you can always use what I call the conversion strategy. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, where you start them off on a yearly noble term, we move them to a 20-year term, and then from there to an LGO with the return of premium. Let's look at the numbers. $24.62. At the end of 20 years, this client has spent $5,908.80. That money is gone. With us, $191.53. Yes, it's a little bit of a jump, but you have to realize, and guys, follow me on this one because I'm about to share something that will change how you sell life insurance. When you look at your client, you can tell them that this policy doesn't cost you anything. You realize that? We're giving you $500,000 at no cost to you. They're going to say, come, you're silly. What are you talking about? It is costing me. No, it's not. All you're doing, now follow me on this one. All you're doing is exchanging dollars today for more dollars tomorrow. You see, or in this case, a lump sum of all your collected premiums in the future. I can tell you this policy doesn't cost you anything. However, in 20 years, we will give you a check for $45,967.20. Now, keep that in mind because there's a lot of things we can do to help that person's financial picture based on getting that lump sum amount. Now, what can the client do in year 20? We have options. We always have options. But let's take a look at our term. First of all, with our term insurance, we could reapply for another policy if we wanted to. Now, I'm going to use our current rates. Now, obviously, they're going to be higher 20 years from now. But if I just go 20 years, and now I've got my client at 55, we're looking at $253.58. So they went from, wow, $24 a month to $253. Guys, this is a great example, and I always recommend you run the numbers because they can see how valuable it is to buy insurance at younger ages. We give lip service to it. We tell people, hey, it's going to be more in the future, but when I can show you the difference right now, wow, that does make a difference. So, $253. Now, the other option they have is just no more coverage. Your policy has expired. You know how many people say they still need the insurance? They like to have insurance on their lives. They almost feel like, wow, I got a void. You know, I need insurance. I got to think my life has some value, right? So they have no more coverage. Some people may be fine with that. Unfortunately, there could be some other people who still want it and can't get it because they're uninsurable. How many people you know that have been denied because of a health condition? Do you realize everybody who's ever been diagnosed with cancer, the first thought in their mind is, how much insurance do I have? Or, golly, I wish I got more insurance. The people who want it or the people who can't get it. Now, since you're on the call here, guys, I do want to put a plug in. We do have an impaired risk product. It's called Strategy Whole Life. If you're doing final expense, give us a call. We do have a level, a graded, and a modified benefit. And we've been able to get coverage for people who never had an opportunity to have an insurance policy. It's only $25,000. Frankly, a lot of people would like to have it. Nobody wants to be a burden on their family, especially as people get older. So if you have a client who's under age 80 and has health problems, call us up. In fact, why don't you call Paul Harrington? He is specializing in the final expense. He can get you a quote. He can get you our impairment risk guide. I can get you a meeting with Mike Monroe, who's our underwriter. Guys, it's a neat market, and I recommend that you have it in your bag of tricks because you're going to run across it. As you're closing an LGO policy, you inquire, do you have any family members that are having trouble getting insurance? Names come up. I'm telling you, it happens too many times. All right, as we proceed on, let's look at the LGO. Okay, in 20 years, what are our options? Well, first of all, we can give you a check for $45,237 guaranteed. You wait another 5 years, we're going to give you we'll give you, not another check, we'll give you this check for $57,459, which is your premiums over that 25-year period. You've had a death benefit, which you didn't have to use. You had living benefits, which, thank the Lord, you didn't have to use. And by the way, we're going to give you back all your money. That's a strong story. Of course, what I would recommend, keep the insurance to age 121. You got it. Good news. Your premium's not going to go up. You just rock and roll. I had a meeting with a guy this morning. He said, James, I got to tell you, I love tradition. I love habits. You get comfortable. And he's comfortable paying his premiums. He's comfortable with the company. He's comfortable with the relationship. As we proceed on, one of the things I wanted to share with you also is the benefit to you. How many of the guys on the call here were basically doing group insurance and you got derailed because of Obamacare? And then we got to get our Republicans we got to give them a kick in the head because they got to get this thing rolled out. You ready for the remedy? I've actually tweeted President Trump. Probably doesn't read them. But I said, you know what you got to do is roll it back to the states, make it a state issue, and move on. Create the old substandard pools in those states and let the companies pay for that. Get the federal government out. I would do that in a heartbeat, and that way we can focus on the more important issues. But this is a state's issue. Don't want to get off on a tangent, but at the same time, and I think you would agree with me, that's the smartest way. Reason I'm pointing that out is because so many people have lost revenue. I'm going to create a new source of revenue for you with this new GUL. You've got a new story to tell. Yes, there are index annuities out there. Yes, there are index life insurance. Yes, there's variable. Our story is simple. You want a low-cost life insurance plan, we have it. You want a level premium to age 121, we have it. You want your money back, we have that. You want living benefits? You're telling me you don't have living benefits? We have that. So here's a great way for you to increase your income with a new revenue stream, a new company, and a company you can be proud of that's going to stand behind you and has capacity. New product, be the first in your market. Like I said, what we want to do, we control this product. And what I mean by that is we're not going to flood the market. We are looking for strategic partners all over the country. And if you can tell me, James, I want to be a six-figure guy, I'm not going to recruit in your neck of the woods. I'm not going to do it. I'd rather get total quality brokers in certain geographic areas and support their efforts versus throwing everything on the wall and hoping something's going to stick. We don't want to operate that way. So if you're interested in developing a relationship with a solid company, impeccable record, reputation, be the first one in your city to have it, and we'll support you. I think you'll be very happy. All right, as we progress on, potential new markets. I'm going to share with you right now the new markets. This is something you may not be doing, and I got to tell you, it's powerful. The one thing I talk about also, a successful life insurance agent has what I call a sell strategy. A sell strategy has three components. First, It's identified a market. You know where you're going. How many of the guys on the call here have no clue what you're doing tomorrow? It's just whatever happens. I want to help you identify a market that you can focus on. When you do that, you'd be surprised. You reduce your anxiety. You develop expertise. I gave a talk last week to the Rainmaker program, and what I talked about was this. When you develop a market and develop strategic relationships within that market, you're going to have accountability. With accountability comes credibility, and with credibility, you're going to improve the influence, which makes you even more money. So it all works in a process. So identify your profile. Who is a perfect profile for this product? Well, let's talk about young couples. Do you realize if you get a local paper, that local paper is giving you leads every single week? When I was an insurance agent, I used to go to the engagement section. We had a deal in our paper. We still do. People making their announcement. Hey, we're announcing our daughter's marrying Bob Berger. Okay. Man, what a tremendous referral. You call them up. Hey, congratulations, I saw your picture in the paper. You know, what we used to do also is we take the picture and we would mount it for them. I got a gift for you. You got a gift? Wow. And you know what the gift is? When you show up, they're going to love you. You mounted their picture in the picture. Nobody bothered to do that. No insurance agent bothered to do it. But you do it, and then you talk about life insurance. And when you've got low-cost term, and that's what I used to do, is I'd sell a low-cost term plan, knowing that I could upgrade them later on. And we call that the conversion strategy. If you are, if you want to make money all along the way, I'll paint a picture for you real quick. And Paul, by the way, if you're still on with us, which I know you are, is we have a whole program on the conversion strategy. We'll send that to you at no cost. So you'll be able to hear how that works. And basically, you're starting with an ART. We've done the math for you. It takes about 6 years for that premium to be justified in a 20-year level term. So let's say 3 years we convert it to a 20-year level term. From there, 3 years later, we convert it to either an IUL, which I think we have one of the best IULs in the industry, but I love the GUL concept because I think people like guarantees. Yeah, you hope the market does well. You hope the cash value grows. You hope the borrowing interest rate doesn't exceed what you want to pay. Here, it's just a simple, here's your money back. So once again, converting them helps you. And by the way, you make money all along the way. As I upgrade you and the premium goes up, you get additional compensation on that. Here is a wonderful idea for you. And it's new homeowners. Now, I love this market. I'll tell you, as a security broker years ago, I love this because new housing starts is the greatest stimulator of an economy. You realize that? So in your city, let's honor the new homeowners by, number one, going out and meeting with them. When I first got in the industry, this is a true story. I wish you guys were contracted because I always like to share money-making ideas with people I work with. But since we have, in fact, everybody on this call is, for the most, we do have some, I take that back. We do have some quality guys on the call that are working with us, and we do have some great quality guys who are with us on the call but are not contracted. But I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me. I got off to a good start because I had an idea. My father knew a man who owned a P&C agency. Now this guy was unbelievable. He was just this superstar, and he cut a deal with a company back then. It was called Jim Craft Homes. They were building subdivisions all over Houston. Okay, this is back in the 80s. And he handled all their homeowner policies. So I went to him, and I just had an idea. And I was just a young whippersnapper, just graduated from college and looking for a way to make some money. The true story, and the reason I'm telling you this is because you can use this idea and make a lot of money. And what I'm referring to is I went to him, I said, hey, Mr. Porter, would it be all right if if I were to deliver those homeowner policies that you're selling, I want to, instead of mailing them, let me just deliver them, because I want to sell them life insurance. I want to sell them mortgage cancellation insurance. He goes, James, that's a great idea. I like that idea. I want to cut of your business. Absolutely. So we did a 75-25 cut, and this old man took 25, let me have 75. I made more money than I've ever made before. Now, what he made me do, he sent me to Boston to go through the commercial union program, made me get a license. I got a PNC license, which later on I'm glad he made me do, but I had to jump through some hoops. But guys, it was worth it. So I delivered these policies, and let me give you the line, because you're going to love this. If you guys are true life guys, you'll love this. I would go over the homeowner policy. We'd talk about every aspect, the wind, the broken glass, burglaries, all that stuff, and the right. And then I look at the husband and wife, and a lot of times they were just a young couple. And I said, I got some bad news for you, though, concerning your policy. And they said, well, what do you got? Well, what's the bad news? I said, well, it's a great policy, but unfortunately, if either one of you pass away, it will not pay for your mortgage. Guys, I'm not kidding you. I said that line probably 1,000 times. And I got almost the same response from everybody. They would kind of sit back and laugh, chuckle, and they go, of course it doesn't pay the mortgage. This is a homeowner policy. And then I would look at them with a serious look, and I would say, that's why I'm here. Because I want to make sure that, God forbid, either one of you pass away, we want to have a debt-free home for your loved one. And they look at each other. Man, it was magic, guys. I'm telling you, you can't lose. Now, sometimes you can, and not everybody bought, but I'm telling you, it was a magic line, and it worked probably 80% of the time. And the cost was so inexpensive. I was selling an ART, and then, absolutely, it's going to cost, you guys, $14 a month to protect your home. And then I had a little program I called Reduce the Ridiculous. And you realize that if you take that, and I would break it down to a daily amount, if you just take 14 and you just divide it by 30 days, I mean, we're talking 46 cents a day to make sure this beautiful home is bought and paid for you forever, and your kids, and you've got something that's in your family. And come on, it worked. So, guys, the time you spend with me is worth it just to use that line. So here's the idea. Don't get your PNC license. Don't deliver homeowners, but just maybe focus on people who just got new homes or people that are getting mortgages. And here's the idea, guys. This is remarkable. I didn't have this back then. I wish I did. But what you can do is you've got the return of premium, so you run their numbers. And first time around, I think you just meet them, you share with them who you are, what you do, your mission statement, the fact that it's a long-term relationship. Get a quote, come back, close them. And then you got the next opportunity. Let's look at their annuities. Let's look at their other type plans. Let's look at their retirement, the whole gamut. Guys, here's the idea for the homeowners. You do the return of premium. Most people will do a 30-year. Why do they do 30-year? Because they think they're going to sell their home, right? Some people may stay. But you do the return of premium, and we'll do it in 20 years. He has a 30-year mortgage. What I'm going to be able to do for him is help him pay off his mortgage, because the return of premium in this case was what, $43,000? How much? Let's look at the amortization. They'll tell you when in the 20th how much is owed. We'll be able to pay off your mortgage. How do you like that? It's a forced savings plan. Remarkable. It can work. So mortgage cancellation. There's a great idea. Using a return of premium policy, not looking at cash value where I can borrow tax-free and it's going to reduce my death benefit. Why go through that? Alternative to term, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Why buy a term where you're not going to see anything? It's like leasing. The line I used to use for these homeowners too is eventually we'd like to get you a cash value policy, because just like you bought a home because you didn't want to worry about rising rent rates. You wanted to have ownership. And when you buy a cash value policy, you do have ownership. that becomes property, and you own it. It cannot change. So, guys, I'm a big fan of insurance allocation. Maybe we use some term, we use some GUL, maybe we use some in the IUL. So, why not break it up? And that's another wonderful idea. Positioning statements, I like this. Guys, I am a firm believer in asking questions and getting the right response, because your answer is going to determine what direction I go in. But how about this? If I could give you the option to have all your money back at the end of your term, would you be interested in talking with me? What a great line. How about this line? If I could show you a way to improve the benefits of your life insurance without costing you any additional money, would that be of interest to you? They say yes. What if I could give you more coverage for less money? Would that be of interest to you? So just variations of that. But what you do is you show people you care and show them the value that you're going to give them. You're going to move people. There's no doubt about it. All right, as we progress on. And let me hear from you, by the way, guys. I know I'm dragging this thing out a little bit for intended purposes, because I want you to see the value that you get. I try to usually do my webinars within 30 minutes, but this is important because we are launching a new product, and I really do want you to be on the team, to be the first on your block with it. Workflow, let's talk about workflow. The first thing you want to do is you want to get contracted with us. And like I said, we don't have a ton of agents. ANTEX really was, you realize it was founded in 1954. It was bought, we have used it primarily as a health insurance company. And when Obamacare came, once again, we have capacity. We do have a great answer plan. We have a strategy of health, which is a hospitalization. If you guys are interested in indemnified plans, we have them. We have a low-cost term plan. We have the final expense. But this is going to put us on the map in a big way, I believe, because this is a cutting-edge product. So you want to get contracted. And if you want contracts, once again, Paul was kind enough to put them right there on GoToWebinar. So you can see it on the bottom of your box there on your screen on the right-hand side. Download it. Send it to us. Send it to martaw@moodygroup.com, and we will get your number very quickly and get you set up. And then I'm going to be doing a coaching call on the product that all you are welcome to join, and we'll give you cutting-edge ideas, how to fill out the app, how to get everything processed, how to quote, the whole gamut. So this is like buying a franchise for nothing down and be able to plug in. So once again, Marta Warren is in charge of our contracts. And guys, we really do have a great website. I'm going to turn it over to our newest member of the team, Paul Harrington. He was really instrumental in shepherding all this new opportunities with the website. Paul, thank you for your patience, buddy. It's all yours.
Oh, no problem, James. Yeah, thank you. So when running to do some illustrations with the LGO or anything along those lines, this is the workflow. You're going to want to go to our new website, moodygrouponline.com. Again, that's moodygrouponline.com. And then there's something we built called the Moody Resource Center. This is a resource for you. This is where you will do the illustrations, and not only for this product, but for all products that we offer. So as you can see with the yellow arrow, it's on the top right of our page. You click on that. One more time. Yeah, real quick. And then you'll see this. This is the Moody Resource Center when you immediately see it. As you can see, we've got our 3 carriers and then Moody Insurance Group specific material. So now, because we're working with the LGO, we would click on the ANTEX tab. There is a password to get into this. Only way you can get a password is if you are contracted with us. So moving forward, you will need to get the password from me. But moving right along here, you can see once you get in, I've made this easy for everybody. Up top in the middle, you see Agent Resources. You can see that's where the e-app is. Once you've submitted business, you click on ANTEX New Business. Takes you where you need to go. Enforce Business. Check on some old policies right there for you, and some quick contacts if you're looking to get with us or some of the underwriters. Now you click on LGO. I haven't released it yet, so we're looking at the term, but it is the same format. We'll have the overview, the key facts that we're talking about, and on the right is where you'll have access to all of the information you need. That's forms, quoting, underwriting guides, state approvals, information on the living benefits and the accelerated benefit riders. So all of that is right there under agent materials. I did make this to be very easy for everyone involved.
I like that conversion credit program too. Tell us a little bit about that, Paul. That's excellent.
Yeah, so ANTEX has a incredible conversion program, and this kind of ties back in with what James was mentioning earlier. And the way this program works is you have a client on ART 10-year, 20-year, 30-year term, and they're looking at doing a permanent plan. Well, with what we can do is we can convert them into a permanent plan, and we will credit 1 year worth of premium towards that new policy. So just to break it down in super simple numbers, let's say your term policy annually is $1,000 a year. You want to convert to a GUL, it is going to be $3,000 a year to pay for that GUL. Well, that first year that you have the GUL, you'll only pay $2,000 because ANTEX is giving you 1 year's worth of premium credit, and that is on all permanent policies with ANTEX. So going from the term to the GUL, or the LGO, or maybe an IUL with Anico, that sort of thing is available through the conversion credit program.
Excellent. I like it. And then, of course, Paul, one of the things we're very excited about, too, is how you can submit that. We are going to have an e-app coming out, and we should have it probably about 2 weeks. I mean, we're having to reorganize it with this new product, and it's taking a little more time than we had anticipated. But, of course, we do have the standard paper apps, but we do want to get to a point everything is paperless. So it's just seamless. As you go through, you go back to your office, we take the electronic the signature, and then we're able to rock and roll. Paul, thank you so much for your time, and I know you're hungry. I can hear your stomach from here, so go get you a steak. How about that? Take care, Paul. All right, buddy. All right, here we go. So one of the things I want to share with you also, and that is that with American National, you do have Underwriting Express. Guys, this is amazing. What we're able to do here is to just bypass the cumbersome underwriting procedure. So here we're able to cut right to the chase. What we do is we do an MIB, we do prescription drug check, and we're able to get this policy out to you very quickly, especially if it's under $250,000. So just know that we do have Underwriting Express available to you on all of our life products, and then let's get you paid. That's the main thing, guys. You're working hard. I always say no margin, no mission. Now here's the dilemma that a lot of people ask themselves. Do I sell term? Do I sell LGO? I say you do LGO. Why? Because your experience, type of person you are, the time that you've invested in your career, you need to get paid. To me, to look for the cheapest term to just get a client, that doesn't make any sense. Now, we do have very inexpensive term, and as I mentioned, I am a fan of term. But I'm saying if the couple can afford it, why not get them involved in something that will provide value and also a future reward? And that is why it makes all the sense in the world to go with the LGO product. You'll make more money, and I think you'll make the client a lot happier as well in the long run. Now, let's talk about some value-added benefits. I've alluded to this, but with Moody Insurance Group, we have a unique program here. I had the pleasure of writing a book called Income Engineering. A lot of brokers are using it across the country and having success with it. And really, it's just a 7-step process that you take your client through, from creation of wealth all the way to end-of-life planning. And this gives you really an income planning practice by incorporating these principles. And that was my whole point behind it. And it's also to create a referral-based practice. Those are the two objectives that I want to do for everybody on this call, is to give you an opportunity to do that. What we also do is we have a number of study groups that we do. One is called Income Engineers, where we talk about principles. Guys talk about what's working, challenges they're having, victories. We all learn from each other. I call it the positive peer pressure. I also have put together a study group called the Rainmakers, And the Rainmakers, these are guys who make six figures and above. These are guys who get it done. And, we can all learn from each other and just, talking about it. I wrote a book called The Construction of the Rainmaker, and that will be out in the fall. But I just think that you can learn an idea. One idea will revolutionize how you do business. I really believe that. We also do one-on-one coaching, as I mentioned earlier. So if you like to just sharpen your skills, we'd love to talk with you. Some people, it's just their attitude. They just need to sit down and get around somebody who believes in them, supports them. We're more than happy to do that. Some people need kind of perfecting their sales skills. We do that as well. And then also product knowledge. There are some guys who say, James, hey, attitude's great, skill set's perfect. I need to know how to sell this product. And then we'll spend time going over that and whatever product it is. We're doing millions of dollars of annuities, a lot of 401k plans, life premiums. So you tell me what you need, and we're here to help you do it. Also, we help you with marketing. We've got Paul, in fact, does social media, so he can actually show you really how to make a presence known in the social media market. We do case support, package deals for you. We check on your pending business, making sure you're getting paid. So in effect, we become your support staff, and we're more than happy to do that for you. And then, of course, with the website, there's going to be a lot of things going on there. We post the webinars we're doing. We've got study groups, webinars going on. We coordinate it with National Western American Nationals programs. So you want to jump on that. So we've got a lot to talk about. So I'd love to earn your business, and we're here for you. Here's the staff. This is just some of the staff members, but these are in your immediate need. Contracting, Marta Warren. Product support, Paul Harrington. We're here on the marketing end of it as well. And then, guys, here's an underutilized market. But if you've got some bilingual or Spanish speakers, give us a call. We have closed business. I have actually closed a lot of cases for brokers who had a Spanish speaker. And this mainly takes place in 401ks. But there are a lot of Spanish speakers who have 401ks. Some of them have a lot of money in their 401ks. And we're able to move that over into to an annuity, maybe an index annuity of some kind. Guys, we also have updated information on DOL. Got some solutions for you on that as well. But I want to thank you for taking time out. I know we've gone overboard here a little bit, but it means a lot that you stayed with me. If you have any questions, I want you to call us, 800-252-4002. You see the extensions, 118's mine. Feel free to call Paul. He's a sharp young man, and he's been in the business now for a year, but I'm going to give him 10 years because he's tapped in on the knowledge, and he's just a very dynamic young guy that's doing a good job. And same with Karen Cabero, and of course Marta is a great resource for you as well, and I'm here as well. All right, guys, make it a great weekend, and my email's there, James.R@Moody Group. Let me hear from you. If you liked what you heard, you want to hear more, let us know. All right, take care. God bless.